And hey everyone, this is Gilman.
And I am known as Squall Snake on the site, aka Zach Gaz, and today we are playing Visions of Mana. This is the demo version, which just came out because the full version comes out in a couple of weeks in August. We're at the very end of July here at the time of this stream. And had not played this yet, but the demo, there's a free demo on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. This is the PC version here. And apparently, if your save data does not transfer over to the full game. We should discuss our plan. But if you have save file from the game, then you get some bonus stuff.
None of that stuff is ever worth it.
Yeah, I got an email from Square, and they're like, hey, play the demo, this is what it's all about. And then in the fine print, they're like, yeah, you're going to get bonus stuff, but that bonus stuff you're going to get like in the game. You know, regardless, you just kind of start with it instead of playing an hour to get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
here's
sure.
10 potions.
Yeah. No, not even. This is like here's a bad sword that is going to be. It's like a level 1 sword that or something.
As soon as you get to the first village.
As soon as for sure. Yes. But at least you get something, which is kind of cool, I guess. I like the little incentives to play in demos, especially for games or demos that come out pre-release. I always like that. And this is one of those games because I'm a huge fan of the Mana series, even though the original is still the best game. So this is like
Adventure?
one of the Secret of Mana, the first
the second,
the first officially named Mana game. But yeah, but that's the second best game. Is it?
Well, they're not called Mana in Japan. It's like Seku Daisen.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so I'm excited about this because this is one of the few games that are really kind of coming out this year that I'm excited about.
For me, Square has been hitting it out of the park with their B tier games.
Yeah, and I really liked the Trials of Mana PS4 remake. I played that, really enjoyed it. They did a really awesome job, way better than the Secret of Mana PlayStation 4 enhanced port, if you will. That was not a good port at all. But the Trials of Mana PS4 game, man, because I played it on the Super Famicom version on the Collection of Mana on Switch when that came out. And the Trials of Mana remake really felt like
it looks like
this is not, it's going to sound maybe condescending, but I don't mean it that way, but it felt like a really good PS2 action RPG. Like it was a PS2 game on PS4, it just looked good, it played well. Yeah, and this right here, just from how the camera moves, how you have a really big jump, how you can explore, like here's a really big environment. They seem to take what made the Trials of Mana PS4 game great and kind of enhance on it, which I think is absolutely the right direction to take it. So I'm already liking what I've seen so far.
See, my entire thing with Mana is half of them are awful.
Yes, there's some not good Mana games, unfortunately. That's why the first Super Nintendo game is great. The original Game Boy version, pretty good. And then because they remade that on GBA and then on Vita, two completely different remakes.
Were they different? I only know about the Game Boy Advance one.
Yeah, so there's Game Boy Advance version, which incorporated a jump button unnecessarily and kind of like really bogged down the game for no reason. And then they remade it. Well, first they remade it on mobile, and then they took that mobile version and then they put it on Vita. So I replayed the game on Vita. That was like the only game that I played through to completion on the Vita, got like most of the trophies. But that's a pretty decent port too. But yeah, like there's some not great Mana games. Like the DS1 is not that good. It's fine, I guess, if you could maybe play wireless multiplayer. PlayStation 1 game, not
I actually
good.
really like the DS1, but here's the thing. I played it with friends.
Yes, if you could play with a couple of friends. Sure, you can have some fun with it.
I've heard horrible things about the PS2.
I love this kind of
PS2, oh yeah, not good. So I think those games kind of came out, and then that's when Mana went dormant for years.
Yeah, when the PS2 one came out.
Yeah.
Like, it's been doing stuff on mobile, but you haven't really seen that many. Oh, there was one on the PS1.
That was Legends of Mana.
Yes.
And that was focused on like town building. I never got into that. I remember renting it. And I was like, what is this? This is exactly what I don't want in a Mana game. And I just never played it since because I was like, I was so appalled because I was just looking for a nice Super Nintendo Secret of Mana sequel, and that was absolutely not it. It had some really cool graphics, like hand-painted art kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I, from what I understand, the battle system is fine, all of that stuff is fine. It's just, you either love that game or you hate it.
Yep.
A kid I knew growing up loved that game.
I know it has its fans, and I think it's cool, like, if you can get into it, but it just wasn't for me. I did not get into it at all.
Well, I thought it was really funny because the way that even he described it is he's like, oh, you don't understand how to play this game the first time you play it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. He's like, no, you get lands and you'll have to place them. Like, you're not gonna, like, you'll just be like, oh, just place it next to this land. But you don't want to do that because it's going to need to be near another land that you get later. And there's no way you're going to know that unless you have a guide.
Unless you have a guide or you played it 4 times before, and then you just start to know. But it's like, I don't want to deal with all that.
Freezing.
Well, that answers the question of what happens if you fall in.
Taking this.
Resonate. Yeah. I always thought that kind of
about this butterfly.
The PS1 era and a little bit into the PS2 was that era of games that you could do something like that, and people would give it a chance.
Yes, that's it. I mean, that is a really good point because PS1 and PS2 very experimental games, different type of gameplay. And we're never going to see something like that. Like, the only thing comparable today are indie games that might do something crazy, but they're just never going to sell. They're never going to get the recognition. So they're going to sell, a few copies. 2-3 people are going to put 3 years of their lives into this game. It's not going to sell enough, but it'll still be kind of good. That's the only thing that we're going to see today. We're never going to go back to that very weird.
You see it on the PC. Like, what you see a lot of, even with indie games nowadays, is they'll try one experimental thing, but then, like, really try to stick to the formula.
Yeah, Steam is really the last kind of resort for anything fun and cool and different. You're never going to see, Square, this game right here, it's still plain and safe, it's still Mana, it still looks good. But it's not going to be anything like super weird like how Legend of Mana was with like, let's put city building and make that a big part of the game and let's put it's random. And
so, I said this earlier, and I know I've said it before in another stream, that I'm really loving Square's teams in the games that like aren't their AAA games.
Yeah.
That's just weird fighting in that. Sorry. Star Ocean and Valkyrie.
Profile.
Chronicle?
Oh,
one of the Valkyries.
Yeah, whatever.
But I loved the new Star Ocean game. That was amazing.
Yeah, some of the Star Ocean, I mean, they have their fans. They rebooted or ported some of the. There's like Saga 2 and 3, I think, are on current consoles. They've been out for a while. The latest Theater Rhythm game, really good. So there's, so there's some stuff out there from Square. They got the Pixel Remaster, which is actually on sale this week. And the sale, instead of it being $70, I think it's $60. Like to get the whole package. So it's like barely a sale. You still gotta pay.
So you're almost like paying what you would want to.
Yeah, you still got to pay the Square Enix tax, even though
the $70 I thought was, and that's only if you buy it in a bundle. If you don't, it's like 90.
Yeah, because each game's like
doesn't hurt to have a good
$17.99 or something, $18.99, something crazy like that. But if I get it, I would definitely buy the bundle. It's like, why not just get the whole damn thing? But it is, I think it's the first time it's been on sale. If I'm not,
it goes on Steam sales.
Steam, yeah, but it's okay. So maybe it's the first time it's been on but it's only on PS4 and Switch. They didn't put it on Xbox, but it is on sale right now.
Did you hear Square's press release about that they're like, yeah, we can't afford to do exclusives anymore.
No, I didn't see that.
Like, people just don't buy it.
I'm glad to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what happened with the last two the Final Fantasy Part 2 of 7 and Final
15.
Fantasy and yeah, and
No, 16.
16, yeah.
God,
So
there's so
they
fucking
got
many of those. Remember when that was a joke when we were younger?
yeah, well, plus there's like 12 and
That's
12
so
too, or
ranch.
you
Does
know,
Milka
like
take care of this
there's
place
other
on
there's
his
10
own?
and 10
12,
there's other
12
Wow.
2,
That's
12
3.
Lightning
A lot of work.
Reborn.
This
3,
Milka
yeah.
looks like a pretty
Lightning
impressive person, if
Returns.
you ask me.
Lightning turn, yeah, right. But
It's
yeah,
so
I mean,
funny. They were so convinced that game was gonna like
Taking this?
be their jam for like decades.
I mean, Square is one of the reasons, really, honestly, to get a PlayStation 5. I mean, because you got the two Final Fantasy games right there, the two big exclusives, which are big reasons.
They're on PC.
And they're on PC. Or they're going to be on PC soon. So, but it's not.
I think they're going to be on Xbox.
Hello?
I haven't
anyone
heard. I don't think
around?
there's, unless they do a crazy port or something next year, they make that
Milka's
announcement. That would be cool. But for right now, if you are a console player, that's one of the reasons to get a PlayStation 5 is to play the next part of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy
Got some
16.
syrup.
Yeah.
Taking this?
I haven't played. We played the demo for 16, and
Yes.
it was very forgettable.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those games where I actually just recently got a PlayStation 5, which is crazy because here
For like $0.
Yeah, well the story, or like, so like we're in the game industry. Granted, we're on the very edge of the game industry, reviewing games, talking to PR, getting game codes,
Taking
reviewing,
this?
streaming, blah blah blah. Very low
We're
tier,
here so they can hit their quota.
pretty much. But being in the game industry, like trying to professionally review games, and to not have a PlayStation 5, nor that I need that ever felt like I needed one, other than you got the Square games, you got God of War.
And then
I
you
was
got
totally
wasn't that great.
I was totally happy with just my PlayStation 4, but I just kind of got this PlayStation 5 that pretty much it was an opportunity fell in my lap. Did a good trade for it, but now it's like, okay, now I can get these Final Fantasy games if I really wanted to. Finding the time is still the biggest challenge of all. Oh yeah, that's what this game has, these rideable animals now. In previous Mana games, you get the dragon, you could find the dragon, you get the turtle, but now there's like, you could ride in this like wolf thing, and you can apparently travel pretty quick, almost like a chocobo, I guess.
Thank you.
So that's new. Oh yeah, the bell.
Any game that doesn't include fast travel
Oof.
is just
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, for an open world game, that's just, you have to.
I really don't know many new RPGs that don't offer fast travel.
I mean, one thing that we were just talking about, like the quality of Mana games have been
Hit and miss.
sporadic, hit and miss. However, I kind of, one thing that's been consistent is most games have fantastic music. Most games look really nice, and this is definitely going to fall into that category too.
Let's
I
go.
really like the art style.
Hold on tight, Hina.
Oh, I will. I cannot describe
I was
how
just thinking
wonderful
about
it felt to ride across the
this
vast
new Star Ocean
countryside on
game,
the back of
and they
that horse,
re-released 2.
together with
2
Vala
was
on our way
such
to
a
the Tree
fucking
of Mana.
amazing game.
I
Like-
wish
Was that on
that we could
was that on
continue
PS2? What
our
was
journey
the?
PS1.
I remember.
forever
I remember
and
when
ever.
we were at
If only
E3,
it
whenever
could
we
be.
went last a million years
Now
ago, and
and
there was a Star
always.
Ocean game that they were promoting at that E3. I remember seeing a big banner specifically.
Would have either been
2010.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Because
But-
3, I believe 3 is no longer considered canon,
They're so fast.
I think
Um,
I've already got the hang of riding them, though.
mainly
Onward
because
to the
of.
step.
So I'm gonna spoil a
And
20-plus
lots
year
of
old
harbor
game.
beyond.
yeah.
You're in a MMO.
Mhm.
Like, reality is an MMO,
Mhm.
and you manage to escape it somehow.
Okay.
And yeah, so like nothing you ever did mattered.
Got some syrup.
That's the big reveal. That's no longer considered
Is
canon.
that a deer?
That was Star
Look at
Ocean
it
3
jump.
too.
That's
That
the
was
ocean
3.
in the distance,
That was
right?
3. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I've never played any of them.
Sparkles in the sun.
I've always
I
known
gotta
about
get
them. They've always
closer.
been kind of on my
This trip to
radar,
the mana tree
but
is
just never
way
played
more
them because
fun
of
than I
the
thought
whole
it'd be.
time thing. They
And
seem
then
very
me
interesting,
crossing
like
this
really
step
cool kind of
together. If only
RPGs.
we could do this
Yeah.
for the rest of our days.
They
What a
I
dream.
really have always enjoyed them, and I know I've sung their praises before.
Go faster.
Mhm. I know Rogue Galaxy also has its dedicated fan base too.
I've tried to get in that a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and I normally stop in the very beginning, because like I can tell, like, yeah, the mechanics are here for this. Like I will sink way too much time into this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of getting, watching this, I'm kind of getting like some like Xenoblade kind of vibes just from the
Yeah, I
like the
can see
very
that.
like the very like open space, beautiful like whimsical landscapes, you know,
Oh
like
wow, that takes a while to dismount. That's why I like you have to hold
Yeah.
the X button, and I did try holding it, but the prompt doesn't come up until it's like halfway
Just what I need.
through. That's interesting choice.
Yeah, but apparently this demo is supposed to be kind of big. Like you can change classes. There's a few classes, something like everybody can change into. But again, just that save data does not you can save in the demo and play it, but you just can't transfer that save data
And
over.
off we go.
PS1 also had Dragon Quest VII.
Oh yeah, that was which was like a Super Nintendo game.
It was
Yeah, was that-
graphically it looked like an early PS1.
Go
Yeah, and it was
faster.
like on like 3 or 4 discs or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it came out really kind of late.
Got some
the
syrup.
PS2 I believe was already out.
Yeah, like
faster.
like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9 I think came out, or it's 8 or something, and then the Dragon Quest came out. And it's like, what is this weird Super Nintendo looking game? And they got all these
Feel
other
like duty
3D
of the
looking
soul
games.
Yeah, same friend that loved Legend of Mana also really liked that game and tried to sell me on it. I played it as an adult and I'm like, holy shit, this is the deepest job system I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You would get skills and unlock certain things based on other jobs. Like if you had a dancer and a warrior skill, they would combine into sword dancer.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it was crazy like that.
Made this
So,
journey
sir,
a
what do you
thousand
think
times
about-
at this point, and yet everything
Yeah,
seems so
like I said, I'm a fan of the
Maybe
Mana
it's your
series, even though
attitude
the
adjustment
games have
that's
been
doing
hit
the
or
trick.
miss. I haven't had a chance to play this demo
Your
myself,
important
but I'm
mission
definitely
from
going
the
to do that. I
moon
already have it
elemental is
downloaded on
making the
Xbox,
world
so I'm going to be
your
doing that soon. But yeah, this game
I
comes
do
out in a
have a
couple of
duty
weeks.
now,
Check
as
it
the
out. You
normal
get
me.
bonus stuff if you play the demo, like we said, and then there's pre-order bonus too stuff. If you pre-order the game, you get some like actually a couple of levels or something like that too. But yeah, check us out at mygamer.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ZachGaz, ZACKGAZ. And until next time, thank you for watching and game on.